Hello. So a number of you were asking me about my use of two capos the other day. I figured rather than showing each of you who asked separately, I just put together a little video. Yeah. So basically, I had two capos going. The first capo I had was just on the first fret, basically because I was playing E kind of sort of shapes, but I was playing in F, so I just capoed up so that I could play those E shapes and play in the key of F. So that was just a regular capo. The other capo I used was a cut capo, which it just has a short little guy here. You can also use just a backwards Kaiser capo because it has this little rubber piece here. I'll show you what that looks like. So I just place it on like this, and it just holds down the A string, the D string, and the G string. So essentially it's holding down an E sus chord, letting the open E ring true. Now, you don't actually need a cut capo to do that. You could also use the back of a Kaiser capo, and it'll do the same thing. It holds down those three strings and lets your low E ring out, lets your B string, this one's a little thick, so actually I would take an X-Acto knife and just cut this down just a little so that my B string can ring out and my high E. Oh, that works. So that is an E sus chord, just being held down by this little capo. Yeah. So I'm gonna just flip that around. I'm gonna use the cut capo. So basically, my chord shapes when using this capo are a little different. For my one chord, my E, I play it kind of like a D, except a D2, so a D shape lifting up the middle finger. So that allows just the high E to ring out. And because it is a whole tone higher, it is an E, not a D. And playing the strumming all the strings gives a nice big low open E sound. Now I could lift up my middle finger or ring finger that's on the B string and let the B string ring out too, because the B is the fifth in the E scale. That actually is also very open sounding, and really I'm only just holding down here on the fourth fret of the G string. So, real nice, open, flowy. The great thing about using the cut capo like this is it allows pretty much all the chords to sound very open and flowy. This is great if you are playing acoustic by yourself and you don't have pads or nice swelly electrics to fill the space. So that essentially allows this B and E to ring out the whole time. All right. Okay, so my one chord is that D shape without the bottom two pressed down, or maybe just without the bottom one, either or. My four chord, the A in this case, there's two different ways that I'm playing it. I'm either holding down like that D shape, the D2 shape, but then I'm bringing my middle finger up and pressing down what would be like a kind of like a G chord, except again that it's a whole tone up, so it's an A. So that's my bass note. I'm muting the the next string with that finger, then I'm letting the rest ring out, and then I'm still holding down the D2 on the bottom. So from an open chord, from the 1 to the 4, the only difference is that my middle finger coming down on the fifth fret there. Okay. The other way to play the 4 chord, and this is the basis of how I will play the 5 and 6, is to, again, your bass note is the 5th fret, which is the A, and then I'm going to use my ring finger on the G string, and it's going to be one fret up. So it's on the 6th fret of the G string, and that's the 3rd of from this note. 1, 2, 3, an octave of the 3rd. And again, my pointer finger is muting the A string, and letting the D ring out, which is actually being held down here, so it's actually a ringing E. And then my pointer finger, or my ring finger is on the 6th fret of the G string, and then I'm letting the high B and E ring out. So essentially this chord is just emphasizing the 1 and the 3 of the chord. A chord is 1, 3, 5, but it's letting all these other chords ring out. Now, so that's the 4, that's an A. For the 5 chord, I'm playing that same position, just up 2 frets. So for the B, in this case, same thing, pressing down the B, 7th fret, muting the 2nd string with that finger, letting the others ring out, while pressing down on the G string with my ring finger, the 6th, I guess in this case the 8th fret, yep. So we have 4, 5. Now for the 6, or the minor chord, in this case the C sharp minor, I'll move my ring finger up to the 9th fret, so it's just going up 1. And then I'm going to use my middle finger, and I'm going to also go on the 9th fret. So difference between a major chord and a minor chord is that you're dropping the 3rd. So to make this 1, 3 chord a minor chord, you would drop the 3rd. So essentially that's what we're doing. Instead of having the C sharp major here, we're dropping the 3rd to make it minor. But we're keeping it essentially like the other chords in that the B string is ringing out, the E string is ringing out, and this D string is ringing out. And then I'm muting the A string with my middle finger and holding the C sharp there. So that's the 6 minor down to the 5 minor, the 5 major, the 4, the 5. So whenever I'm playing the A chord, the 4 in this case, I'm going to use that 1/3 position if ever I'm switching between the A and the B and the C sharp minor. But if I'm just hanging out between the E, the 1, and the 4, I'll just play it like this. I'll just add the A on top. So 4, 5, 6, 1. So those are the main chords. The only other ones are the 1/3. So the E over G sharp, which the way I play that, it's essentially the same position, the same fingering as the C sharp minor, except I'm playing it over on the G sharp. So I'm just holding down with my middle finger on the 4th fret, my ring finger on the 4th fret on the G string, and that is my 1/3 chord. The other chord that's sometimes used in the key of E would be the F sharp, which would be the 2 minor. You can either go all the way up to the 14th fret to play that, same position as the C sharp minor, just that kind of minor third shape. Or I find it actually easier to play it this way. So the F sharp is here, your 9th fret, and the minor third right above it with your pointer finger on the 7th fret of the D string. I mute the top string with my ring finger, hold that one down. My minor third is my pointer on the D string, 7th fret, and the rest I'm letting ring out. I could mute the G string with my pointer finger, but it doesn't really matter in this case. So, common song, if you were playing, say, Build My Life in E, that one would be used lots. So it would start on the 4 for the chorus, say, and so that would go like, and holy, there is no one like you, there is none beside you. Open up my eyes and let's try that again. And holy, there is no one like you, there is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are, and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And so on. If you have any questions.